Saudi Arabia spans an impressive 2.14 million square kilometers, making it the 14th largest country in the world by land area and almost the same size as Western Europe. Due to its large reserve of oil, it became one of the wealthiest countries on the planet. However, despite its vast expanse, it's one of the few countries that doesn't have a single permanent river due to its low annual rainfall. But there is something truly remarkable happening in the Saudi Arabian desert. In the early 1960s, there were only 400 square kilometers of fertile land in the country. Yet today, Saudi Arabia has a flourishing agricultural network of fields that allow farmers to grow a wide variety of foods and fruits. The transformation of this desert into a verdant oasis is nothing short of remarkable. But how did Saudi Arabia manage to achieve this feat? The country has managed to transform itself from only having a 400 square kilometers of arable land at the start of the 1960s to one with a staggering 35,000 square kilometers today. That's an astonishing increase of over 8,000%. It's hard to imagine how Saudi Arabia expanded its arable land so significantly in such a short period of time, especially considering the country only receives an average of 4 inches of rain per year, one of the lowest rates in the world. This agricultural progress is truly outstanding and a major achievement for the country. It is a well-known fact that the country is home to the largest oil reserves in the planet. In March 1938, oil was discovered in the Dammam oil field. Today, the country holds approximately 17% of the world's proven petroleum reserves, totaling an estimated 75 billion barrels. The Ghawar oil field is the largest oil resource in the world. Interestingly, a liter of drinkable water in Saudi Arabia costs more than a liter of oil. Needless to say, water is a significant problem in the country. Despite this, Saudi Arabia has managed to become a major exporter of a variety of agricultural products, including wheat, dates, dairy products, eggs, fish, poultry, fruits, vegetables, and flowers. Dates, which were once a staple of the Saudi diet, are now mostly farmed for humanitarian aid and exported to international markets. Prior to the oil boom, most of the agriculture in the Arabian Peninsula was confined to small-scale vegetable production and date cultivation in oases. The local population relied on these small plots for their food, and any surplus was sold to passing caravans. The country's agricultural development began in the 1970s with the government initiatives to promote modern farming technologies and rural infrastructure. As a result, the production of all staple foods has increased dramatically. Today, it is completely self-sufficient in number of consumables, including large volumes of meat, milk, and eggs. This increase in food production has led to corresponding decrease in food imports. The country now exports various agricultural products around the world. Early in development program, intensive dairy, meat, poultry, and egg production were all established, and by 1985, local farms are already meeting domestic demand for many previously imported items. Saudi Arabia has one of the highest annual milk production rates in the world, with each cow producing an impressive 1,800 gallons of milk per year. One of its most notable agricultural achievements was the rapid transition from being a wheat importer to a wheat exporter. It's a feat that garnered international recognition. The country's first grain silos were built in 1978, and by 1984 it had become self-sufficient in wheat production. After becoming self-sufficient in wheat production, Saudi Arabia began exporting the grain to 30 countries, including China and the former Soviet Union. However, in recent years, wheat and other grain output have been drastically curtailed in order to conserve valuable water resources. Improved farming and transportation methods have led to an increase in fruit and vegetable production in the country that exports large quantities of produce to other countries in the region. As a result of this agricultural revolution, a variety of indigenous cuisines have become available that were unfathomable only a few generations ago. While dates are no longer a primary source of nutrition for its people, they are still an important supplement. The country produces approximately 500,000 tons of dates each year, with 450 varieties, and uses a portion of them as humanitarian aid through the World Food Program. Surprisingly, the country is the second largest contributor to the WFP, donating thousands of tons of dates annually to alleviate famine and food shortages worldwide. A variety of government programs, including the provision of interest-free loans, technical and support services, and low-cost water, fuel, and power, as well as duty-free imports of raw materials and machinery, have been essential to the recent growth of its agricultural sector. The Ministry of Agriculture is the major institution responsible for implementing agricultural policy in the country, and it does so through conducting research and offering extension services to farmers. The government has also invested heavily in modernizing the highways that connect agricultural regions to the major markets in the country. These development plans aim to boost farm output, and the government also funds and support research programs aimed at developing food crops, increasing yield, and developing pest-resistant plant strains. The country is home to the world's largest continuous sand desert, the Rab Al Khali, covering 650,000 square kilometers and featuring dunes up to 200 meters high. The country is also the largest one without a river. Most of the country is desert or semi-arid, with a vast coastline but limited water. It's not surprising that water is becoming increasingly valuable for them due to rapid development and increased water consumption. Thus, the country has had to look for new ways to meet growing water needs. The country relies heavily on aquifers for its water supply, with water being stored in large underground lakes and reservoirs. The sea is another major source of water through the process of desalination, which converts saline seawater into potable water. Saudi Arabia produces the most desalinated water in the world, with a Saline Water Conversion Corporation operating 27 desalination plants that produce more than 3 million cubic meters of potable water daily. More than 70% of the water consumed in cities comes from these plants, as does a significant portion of the water required by industry. Recycled water is increasingly used for domestic and irrigation purposes in urban areas, with a recycling rate of at least 40%. Recycling factories have been developed in Riyadh, Jeddah, and other large metropolitan industrial centers to achieve this goal. Irrigation of farm fields and urban parks is also done with recycled water. There is no doubt that Saudi Arabia is situated in the most hostile environment on the planet. It has made incredible progress in agriculture, transforming its barren desert landscape into fertile farming land. This impressive transformation was made possible through a combination of innovative technology, government support, and the hard work and dedication of the country's farmers.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories.